Hi guys, Tensei here. Today I'd like to share with you a Warlock Arena run. The special thing about this run is we decided beforehand that class specific cards had priority over all other cards. So if there were three cards that came up and one of them was a Warlock card, that card would be picked above the other two. Um, the other thing about this run is the fact that there were so many close games, and so I felt like the run was exciting enough to actually edit and post on YouTube. So I hope you enjoy it, and onwards to the draft and the first couple games. Alright, so here we have the draft starting. I've chosen Warlock. I'm feeling kind of shitty because I like Mountain Giant, and Shade's not bad, but I have to pick Pit Lord. And then we have Succubus, Voidwalker. Like, Voidwalker is a good card, so I don't feel bad about that. And neither do I feel bad about Hellfire, nor Demonfire. So we're having pretty good luck so far. And this is the first option where I've got a bunch of normal cards. So I've decided to go with a taunt. My reasoning early on is the fact that as a warlock, there are a lot of cards that are going to hurt us and deal damage to ourselves. And so we really want to pick cards that is going to negate that damage. So things like taunts, as well as healing. So here it looks like I do have a lot of forecast cards, and Frostwolf Warlord is a pretty strong pick. So Imp Gang Boss, Dread Infernal, yeah. These are pretty straightforward, but you can see that there are a lot of neutral cards that are really good that we're passing over because of this rule. That's one pick I would like to run through Hearth Arena and to see if I actually made the right choice. Mistress of Pain it's really strong if you can buffer, because she can get you quite a bit of life. I would compare her to Exalted Angel, if anybody plays Magic the Gathering. So here, I know this is a really suspect pick, Shield Bearer, but because of my assumption that we are going to be losing a ton of life, I thought a one cast taunt would be a good pick. Yeah. So I've definitely picked a lot of taunts here. Yeah, I felt pretty bad here because the Hungry Dragon. And here, the last pick with Gadgets and Auctioneer, it doesn't show it, but I'd actually counted the number of spells we had, and we had 9 spells, so I thought he definitely won out over Jeeves. Plus the fact that Jeeves would help our opponent. It's not good there. So okay, right now we've got a pretty good curve. Shieldmaster is a 1-drop, but I really want to save it to protect another creature. Like once we cast another creature out there, then you want to play like a 0/4, because all it's going to do is to absorb some damage. So things are going pretty good right now. This is the second game. We got stomped pretty hard in the first game by a hunter, and I think he had double deadly shot with a few other pieces of removal, but we never really got anything going. And I mean, because he was close to 30 health and we were zero, it was just a really boring game. So skipped over that. We are 0-1 right now, and this is the second game. So there I played Blade Master. Looking back on it, I kind of wonder if maybe I should have played Mistress of Pain. Or I may have been thinking that we want Mistress of Pain. We want to play her when we can buff her. I'd like to say that's what I was thinking, but I'm not sure. I look pretty happy. We After the deck was drafted, I think one of the viewers predicted a 4-3 score. I really thought that was being really optimistic. I thought we were going to go maybe 2-3 or even 1-3. I was really hoping for at least a win. So right now our opponents played a trap. And I think here I am a little concerned. I'm trying to figure out what it is, because I mean our creatures are pretty strong, and I don't really want to give him a good creature if we don't have to, in case it's a mirror entity. So instead it's a duplicate. So we found out it's a duplicate. I'm feeling pretty good. And the fact that we have Void Caller out and we have Pit Lord in our hand means that Void Caller is going to be calling out a pretty strong card. All that being said, I mean, he's still in a pretty good position. We do have a lot of removal, board removal, in terms of 2 Hellfires and 2 Dread Infernals, but none of those cards are in our hand right now. So I am a little worried right now for sure. Alright, Implosion. So Implosion's it's a really interesting card. The fact that it deals damage and it gives you a bunch of minions. It's very useful, and it's also a great card to use with Frostwolf Warlord. So right now, I know we're at 20. All I'm trying to do is to keep us alive till we can get to late game and get the rest of our creatures out. So that's why I use that Demon Fire to kill the Giblin. Alright, Bane of Doom. So I've seen some pretty sick Bane of Dooms, especially with Mal'Ganis, and it's just really got me intrigued. I really wanted something awesome, and I got Voidwalker, which is not bad. It could have been much worse. You can kind of tell our opponent's running out of steam, but he has us where he wants us. We're at 10 health, now we're lower than 10 health, so we're definitely in lethal range for him. So even though he only has 1 card, he is in a pretty good spot right now. So all I'm thinking is, okay, we gotta stop as much damage as we can. So here he plays an MC tech, and we were really fortunate that it didn't get the Pit Lord. However, if it did, we would have just soul fired it. So not too big a deal. Okay, looking at it from this perspective, yeah, things don't look very great. Um, well, not to say they don't look great, but we are in a tough spot. I'm a little confused as to why he kept using his hero power on the Pit Lord when he really could have been getting us down and closer to, fireball range, or even down further to frostbolt. So like what he's doing here, you can see I'm pretty concerned. So we're getting to that point where, well, even a frostbolt would win him the game. So instead I'm at 5. I really think if he had been attacking me, I would be at probably 3. 3 or 2. And that, I mean, that's pretty tough for a Warlock, because then your options are really limited. So we're really fortunate here. He's getting some crappy draws, and, I mean, it sucks to be top decking and to get a 1-1 when we're mid-game or towards end-game. But still, I mean, you can tell how concerned I am just from the fact that I decided to soulfire him. So here I was really worried, but it turns out that it wasn't a direct damage spell. So I'm just really happy, and I'm kind of just counting and making sure that we do have lethal. So pretty close game. And with this game, we are at 1-1. So on to the next game. And again, it's another mage. Okay. So with this starting hand, I think when I initially saw it, I was like, whoa, awesome. 3 1-drops, the early game, great. But really looking back on it now, I really wish I had mulliganed the Shield Bearer, or even the Shield Bearer and a Voidwalker. Just because they're not going to do much on their own. Like, what you need with these taunt cards with low attacks is they need to be serving a purpose. So whether it's to protect yourself from possible lethal, or to protect a creature you have out on the board. So instead, like you see on my turn 2, instead of playing those cards, I decided to tap and take 2 damage. Okay, so right here, like, my choices are pretty limited, and all I'm trying to do is to prevent too much damage from building up in the beginning. Okay, so, I mean, one thing with the Murlocs, and the reason why I didn't use Hellfire was because it's only 3 damage, one thing, and the fact that they each only have 1 health, Dread Inferno could easily take care of those. So at turn 6, I'm hoping that I would have drawn a Dread Inferno by then. So that Dark Iron Dwarf kind of threw a wrench into my plans. It was a really good play, and he's still a really strong pick. In the past, before they patched him and kind of changed him, that +2 was a permanent buff, and so he was pretty damn strong back in vanilla. So okay, we're at 16. We're facing about 7 damage turn. I decide to Bane of Doom, and we get a Floating Watcher, which is great. And you see here, this is when I want to play my Shield Bearer to protect the Floating Watcher. Yeah, but you can see here I'm pretty frustrated. Our opponent has some pretty good cards. Like, he's got a good deck. So we're facing 10, 11 damage. We're at 14 health. Right now, all I'm thinking is, well, how can we remove some of his creatures to kind of prolong our life and hopefully allow us to make a comeback. So this is the perfect setup for Hellfire. And I decided to tap to 9. I'm not too worried because I know I have anti-Healbot that I can play next turn. And also we have this Mistress of Pain that can gain us some health. But this guy's doing the right thing. Like, he knows, like, at 8 health we're at a critical level, and he's working on getting us down, which is the right play, I would say. So 13, again, we still have anti-heal bots, so I'm going to tap and you know, I don't know if that is the right play to continue tapping like that, but I think at that point I was just looking for trying to get more cards so that we would have answers for anything our opponent casts. Okay. So that's a pretty... I mean, Abomination there is pretty awesome. However, thanks to Dread Inferno, like, things actually work out very well for us. And this was definitely a mistake. I really wasn't thinking when I played her. But looking back on it now, I mean, I was just very lucky that she didn't get rid of anti-Healbot. But you see here, like, the big thing is that if I hadn't played her, I would have had my other Dread Inferno, and we would have been able to clear the board, basically. But instead, now, like, I just have to deal with a really bad trade, and, yeah, this will probably cost me the game. I don't quite remember who wins in this one. But yeah, you can see now I have to get rid of that Frost Wolf. Because if I don't, then he would be able to fireball me. Like, hit me down and fireball me. Hindsight's 2020. Because it turns out he didn't have a fireball or a frostbolt. So he's got Illuminator and a secret, which is pretty awesome for him. For us, I'm left wondering, like, what is this secret? So I could have triggered one of two secrets by attacking him, and it didn't work. And tried to duplicate, and that didn't work. So we finally end up realizing it is a mirror entity. So that's a pretty sick play. Especially with me, like, leaving all these creatures out for him. And being able to double owl is pretty rough. Alright. So I think now I'm feeling pretty good. Because I've got Hellfire, we can basically clear the board. I think that was the wrong play as well. Just because he can ping the floating watcher. And I definitely don't think we should tap. Whoa. Okay. Well, we did. So now we're in Frostbolt range. And I'm just hoping he doesn't have a Frostbolt or a Fireball. Okay, and we pick up a Shadow Bolt, which is 1 damage short of 5. So we totally lost this game. Oh well, boo-hoo. So right now we're at 1 and 2. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you have any critiques on the gameplay or my commentary, feel free to leave them in the comment box below. If you liked the video, feel free to like it or to subscribe for more awesome videos. Besides that, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.